Good evening. Welcome to another Light for the Journey. I'm Pastor Carl Tenney, your host. As you know, it's good to have Terry back tonight. Terry, welcome. Glad you could be here
Thank
tonight.
you.
Yeah, you were
We're back.
missed. You were missed. Ray, told Ray he had some big shoes to fill, and he felt like he wouldn't be able to do that. So glad you're with us. Yeah. Hi, Ray. It's good to see you. If you're joining us through the YouTube and you saw the notice or whatever, and you're coming in and joining us, I would just share with you a couple things. Over there in the corner of your screen is our web address, and if you go to the web address, thank you, Linda. She's on the ball here. You'll be able to be a part of this chat. There's two windows. Go to Discover Oak Hills, and then go to the live streaming, and then go to Sunday night live stream, and that will put you on, and you'll be able. There's two windows. One is a viewing window that gives you this whole the whole video, and then the other window lets you chat in our chat room, and you can ask questions, you can make comments, and share with us. Light for the Journey is a program where we take a look at life through the light of scriptures. We usually talk about the worship, but that's always fun. Worship is a primary part of our lives, especially for believers, and talk about the message a bit and highlights that in Christ. So what else do I need? Oh, if you watch us on YouTube and you like it and you want to get notices of when we go live, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll get those notices. And if you like it, and you give the thumbs up, with your like, or if you dislike it, the thumbs down, and we'll take it. We can do that, right? It's okay.
We can handle it.
We're not for everybody,
We're
are
big
we?
boys.
We're big boys. Put our big boy pants on.
You
That's
betcha.
right. We're not for everybody. We don't try to be. We just try to be kind to everybody. There's a big difference, right?
We miss Katie and Ray. We didn't know they were going to be here.
Yeah, you did. You missed them. Well, I want to do some more I guess this would be housekeeping kind of stuff. 2 weeks ago, Tim Toffel was a guest. He was filling in for you, and he talked about a Christmas tradition. And he bought me. I'm trying to remember what these wafers are called.
No, we're not going into food already.
No. Well, I just want to explain this. I want to share this with our audience.
It's a Christmas tradition.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tradition, and these are the wafers. This one has a picture of Jesus and Mary on it and a star. I don't know that the cameras will pick that up. I'm going to try to. Yeah, there we
There it
go.
is, yeah.
Yeah. And this thing can be broke, but this is what he was talking about. There's that one. He bought these for me, or actually his brother, and he gave me. And then this is the other one. Let me see here if it'll focus on there. Yeah.
Now, does
And
it
I
say anything there? No, just a picture.
So, yep. And so they take these. They're like communion wafers. And on the back of the instructions here, they have a whole service planned out. And so what the family does is get around the table, Terry, and this is their tradition, and they ask for forgiveness from one another, kind of a confession time, and they break this and they share this and they celebrate Christ together. Really, really cool.
Now, do these have a list of side effects like the drug advertisements or anything on them?
No, I just wanted to share.
So you eat these, huh? Do they have flavor?
Yeah.
Like, is that strawberry?
Well,
or something?
it's like the wafers that we
Just
for
communion
communion.
type.
Yeah, and so, but it's all thanks be to God and the full grace and truth. And you sing a carol, glory to God in the highest, and it's really a neat tradition. Yeah. There you go.
I've never heard of that. Of course, there's a lot I haven't heard of.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. And so then when he brought me that, and I told him, I said, I want to share this with our audience. So wanted to take care of that. Again, Light for the Journey. Just this is doing real life, right? This is real life stuff. And it is cool to see people who Christmas tradition has that at the Christmas dinner. They do that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is cool.
And they ask forgiveness.
Gluten-free or
Yeah,
that
things
kind
that
of
they've
stuff.
done over the year. Yeah. Gluten-free, huh?
Is it? I don't know. I was just
I don't
curious.
know.
I suppose,
It can't have too much in
it
it.
doesn't say it's made on a conveyor that's uses peanut products or anything like that. So
Yeah, we could give it to my daughter and
If
then
you
see
bless
if she
it, it
breaks
should
up.
be safe.
That's right, if it's blessed,
There you
right?
go.
Ah, well, they miss you, Terry.
Well, it's
Yeah.
nice to
So,
be missed.
yeah, where am I in the program? You know, this is like having a whole new staff. So it's good to have
Oh,
Linda
my.
back behind the cameras. Terry's wife, Linda, does such a wonderful job. Linda, when I was with Tim, I was pushing those buttons. I was so lost. I so appreciate you. I was so pumped today.
Today was just a good,
Yeah.
just a good day. Good service, good music. It was just all
Yeah,
wonderful.
you know, and you just sense the Lord's presence and just you know, loving on people. It was just fun. I after the service, I went over. Debbie was talking to Kathleen, and so you know, I said something. I said, "Well, you know, were you guys waiting for your hugs and kisses?" So I reached over and I kissed her and on the cheek, and so she got so red. And okay, and she got so red, and I gave her a hug, and Debbie's standing there, of course.
I don't know. I'm just really excited about this year. I can't remember any year or not because it's New Year's, but just because
There's a hope.
there's something happening, and some of it's going to be scary, some of it not scary, but it's good.
Yeah. Well, God's got this.
Yes.
You know, God's got this,
It's
and
like there's
we're
something
going to do
in
this
the
with the Lord.
atmosphere that's like,
Yeah, I had that sense too. I had the same sense, you know, that this is a year for us.
yeah.
You know, but last year was a good year. I mean, we had some salvations, and we had, you know, people come to Christ through primarily you guys' ministry more than mine even. And I'm not jealous. I'm grateful.
Yeah, we prayed with one or two people this
yeah.
time. None for salvation, but it was just fun to reach out and pray
Yeah.
for a few people.
So, last week, Ray did such an outstanding job, and he asked me, you know, I mean, he asked me some tough questions, and he kind of spun this thing back around on me.
I'll
So
bet
it's-
he's been waiting for a year to do that.
So I'm so grateful to have you back. You're so much kinder than he is. You know, and so anyhow, you know, when I started putting this message together, it turned out way different than, you know, what I thought. You know, because you know things about the Word, and you know things about the Lord, and you've had practices in your life, and so I'm thinking the blessed life, and I shared that, you know, all the different, and I just it's so fascinating how the Lord just took this and then just developed and showed me things and developed the message, and it just it's exciting actually. I was actually very moved in some places to tears, you know, reading some scriptures in my quiet time, and it was just like, oh Lord, I can't believe you do this for us. I can't believe the love that you have for us, and it just was so cool. But anyhow,
That came through really well in the message.
did it? I felt like I failed actually as I was walking home. So what?
Not if you were paying attention. Now, if you took the title of it and then you were thinking and looking just for the obvious blessing type thing, you'd have missed it. But like when I was talking, Linda and I were discussing it we drove up to the Cracker Barrel after dinner.
Yeah, see, we are talking about food.
No, we're not. But on the way we were talking about it, and I says, in a way, it almost kind of, but we don't have any children, but it would almost be like you are with your children.
Mm-hmm.
But to think that, so here's Jesus, he knows what he's about to go through, you know, and he knows. And of course, they don't really. And to me, it'd be just like parents, where the kids are sitting there fighting and squabbling and carrying on, you know, and so here's Jesus watching this, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you know, knowing in his mind, now he knows what's going to happen to him, and here's the kids fighting.
Yeah.
And then, after seeing all that, tie the robe or whatever around your waist and wash their feet. It's like, oh my gosh. You know?
He got through. I'm sure of that. Just by Peter's response.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But if anybody's going to get through to us, it's going to be God.
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, never thought. Never. That is so wrong.
Welcome back, Terry. They missed you. I told you. People love you. Where's Terry? I always get that. Where's Terry? You know. You'd think they'd pay attention when I announce that you're going to be gone. You guys are going to be gone.
But yeah,
would there been any questions you have, or anything you'd added, anything you learned that you didn't know?
Well, that I never, put together, is that, what he must have been, what we as normal finite human beings, the frustrations we'd go through with other people, and and people are people.
Yeah.
We can get on each other's nerves. But just the way you explain that, I was like, oh my gosh. You'd have every reason in the world to want to go over and just bash him, and instead,
on his last night,
mm-hmm.
and he, and he didn't. Yeah, I was just moved to tears when I,
when that comes
when
to
that
your
came
mind.
out, in this through the studies, and that came out, and it was like, wow, I had never known that. That was insight for me, and it just moved me in ways that. Yeah, you dressed better, so now you know. Yeah, Linda, that's a compliment to you. You understand? Yep. You won't let him go out of the house looking like that. So.
But yeah, that was really good.
Well, let's for our audience sake, some of them didn't go to service today, so let's share the scripture. Let's go there. Satan entered. I took it to Luke. Linda, can you take that back to John, the 13th chapter? You just click on John and then go to chapter 13. Yeah. You got to find your. She's got, for our audience sake, she's got 4 monitors, and they're all somewhere above and somewhere beside. She's got to find her mouse. The location. Which screen is the mouse on?
Okay, what verse?
Go to chapter 13 and just verse 1.
Okay, it's there. Oh.
There you go. So when John opens this up, Terry, he says, now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew his hour had come and departed out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. In other words, he's loving them, even though they're ornery. There's not a better word for that. They were just being ornery.
Human.
Yep.
Being human.
Knowing, in verse 3, that's just gripping. Knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, and that he come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper, laid aside his outer garments, took the towel and tied it around his waist, and then began to wash their feet. There he is. He's God, very, very God, very man. Last day, it's going to be the worst day of his life.
Yep.
And they're all about it. Not a word, gets up, and then just begins to love them, and just begins to try to talk about trying to help them. And then, I tonight, as I started this message, my intention, my goal, and my purpose is that I wanted to give you guys, my congregation, the tools and information from the Word of what you needed to have a blessed year. Lord, how do I help my people to live the blessed life? Now, that doesn't mean problem-free. A lot of people think being blessed means it's problem-free.
No.
And not even close to problem-free. It's going through the trials and having a peace that passes understanding, and it's going through the trials and having a joy in the midst of trials. And that's the blessed life. That's the blessed life. And so tonight, as I'm thinking about this thing, I'm thinking, was that what Jesus was motivated by? I just need them. I just need them to know. And he said,
Poor ordinary people.
we sang about poor ordinary people. It was, yeah. That's my favorite. That's my favorite hymn. Yeah. So, tonight I just wonder if Jesus wasn't trying to help them to know how to have the blessed life. You know what I mean? Guys, it's not about position. It's not about title, or any of that. It's and so put that back up, Linda. Let's let that verse. It's down. What is it? The 19th verse, I think it was. If you'll scroll. Yeah, I know. I make you do that. Yeah, the 19th verse. No, back it up. It must be 17th verse. That's. It says, "If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them." You're not greater than the master. You're not greater than the one that sent you as an ambassador. He says there in verse 16, the servant's not greater than master, nor is the messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, and here he is, loving us to the end, to the end. I mean, how could it be more loving? I don't know any way for it to be more loving. We're being ornery, and he comes in and he just humbles himself. He humbles himself, takes on his servant's role. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords.
Right in the middle of all of it.
Yeah.
It's just...
And washes their feet, and doing what they were pretty much made up their minds. I'm too good for this.
Right.
Well, we all do that. You know that.
It's human nature.
Yes, it's the brokenness in us.
Humanness in.
I'm glad to hear that, Rick. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Oh. I think these guys are playing the role tonight.
I think they are.
Oh. So anyhow, it was just humbling for me to see how much God really loves us. And Terry, he didn't just do it for them. Do you have any idea how ornery I was? You can't. Well, you see the orneriness in me with just in a loving way with my people. You saw me holding the doors on Betty, wouldn't let her in the sanctuary today.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, I thought you told me that. It asked me what time I got up.
No, that's when you were. Oh, is that what? No, was Betty trying to get? That's when you were kind of dancing around in front of the doorway.
Oh, I was holding the door and told her I ain't letting you in.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I thought you were just having a moment, or your seizure meds hadn't kicked in, or whatever. You're having one of them fits or something. Oh, that's what you were doing.
Yeah. To get it together, huh?
Ornery people.
You're making sure, huh? Okay. Boy, they are ornery tonight. They're making up for Tommy being absent. I have to tell Tommy they're trying hard to fill his shoes. So, yeah. So you think they would, if they weren't paying attention, they missed it. See, and that's what I thought. I thought, Lord, I didn't communicate that well today. I just
no, the part that you're talking about where he washed their feet and everything. No, that
how much that God loves us, how much the extent that God, I just our Creator, our Maker, Jesus Christ was in on creation, the whole process.
We can just really be glad that God is God. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because if he was human like 99 0.9 of us, we'd be
Well,
crispy critters.
Yeah, how many times do we take the posture that well they don't deserve that from us, or they don't deserve, our time, or they don't,
Right.
and it's like he washed Judas's feet.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody didn't deserve that,
Yeah.
and he did it. Wow. It's just all I can say is wow. I can't. I'm almost speechless because it's wow. And yeah, help me out here, folks. Stop picking on poor Terry.
Well, Terry's
What
good.
size shoe do you wear anyhow?
About 11.
About 11. Nobody can fill those shoes, dude. He's a nice tall fella. What's it like to be tall?
I'm only 5'11", about 5'11".
Oh, you're talking to somebody who's 5'8". Only,
Yeah.
man. This is chocolate, by the way, hot chocolate. Right? I got some hot cocoa before I started today. Yeah, you wish you had some, don't you?
No.
Takes love to wash feet.
Rick has Terry beat. Holy moly.
Size 13. Takes love to wash feet. Because they sink or stink. I think you mean stink. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you can about imagine back then.
Yeah. When I was in Pakistan, I mean, just to give you an idea, there's no, they had electricity. There's no sewer system.
I know.
So
everything's out in the streets.
Yep. So what they do, they have plastic pipes, comes out, and there's this, I mean, it's got to be like about the size of this cup. If you lay it down, dig it out, and cut cup in half, there's this little gutter, runs down the street. Yeah.
No, thank you.
And
No,
over
thank
into the
you.
creek where they're in waist deep fishing with nets. Yeah.
No.
Leon, hi Leon, good to see you. Debbie, you're late. You're just getting on. I didn't even realize. Good thing you're here. You and Leon will have to rein this crowd in. They're ornery tonight.
She missed all of our wonderful comments on the music today.
Menorah for Christmas. Nice. Yeah. Well, we're sorry you're late too. Program's down to 4 minutes already. We just started talking. Well, anything else that came to your mind? There's nothing you had added, huh?
No, that was
a good message to start the year off on, I think.
Yeah. I was telling Linda, that it was interesting too that it starts out talking about the Passover, celebrating the Passover. The use of blood and all of that. And then Jesus, this whole thing he's going through is to become
the Passover lamb.
Passover lamb.
Yeah.
Now he's taken that whole role. And yet with all of this going on, that, is all going on too.
Yep. Oh.
And here he is washing feet. It's like,
Yeah.
And he knows all
Do you
this.
understand what I've done for you?
No.
You don't understand now, but you will, he
Yeah.
said. Yeah. And but when he got done though, they understood some things.
Yeah.
I was walking up here to coming up to church to do the program, and I was just thinking, God came to make us unholy people holy again. What a project. What a project. But we are to be a holy people. We're to be we're called, and it's
not possible.
well, it is. All things are possible with God.
Right, but I mean, we can't.
No, we can't do it on our own. No.
It's
Unless
just-
Jesus washes us, we have no part with him. Unless Jesus washes us, unless we are washed.
That's the only way.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate hearing that. It was fascinating to me as I was doing the study, and there was different words. Big deal around there. Yeah, I didn't do anything with the Epiphany, but Ray and them did. But they don't stream their services.
Now that's interesting. I've never heard of that before. The teenage boys dive for the cross in the bayou. From what I've seen of the stuff in that bayou, I ain't going in that bayou.
Oh. It didn't come through, huh, Katie? You really got to work on your internet service. It was pertinent stuff. Well, send it again. We'll deal with it.
Grr.
Send it again. We'll deal with it. It's pertinent.
We don't stream because we don't get reliable.
You don't get reliable what?
Every year since 1903, this has been a tradition.
Wow. It was
So
long.
it's in a watery thing that is where you don't have to compete with alligators and lions and tigers and bears and stuff.
Oh my.
We were down there on a boat ride once, and they were the guy running the boat would throw marshmallows out to the alligators.
Marshmallows.
Yeah. Where was that, Linda? We were on that boat ride, and that guy driving the boat would throw marshmallows out to the alligators.
Someplace by New Orleans.
The alligators would go after the marshmallows?
Yeah. They weren't big alligators, but I mean, they were alligators, and they obviously knew him and that he'd be coming along with these
They
people.
look forward to their treat, huh?
Yeah,
Their little
he's just
snack.
throwing the marshmallow. I suppose it's just like our squirrels. They get used to it, and here comes that boat with those people. Let's go, marshmallows.
Uh-huh.
We have an alligator in the pond.
House between us and the pond.
Man.
Yeah.
Of course, they're alligators. They're not quite as vicious as crocodiles.
We
I
have
guess.
10 seconds. If you're looking for a church, I know of a good one. Terry, you know of a good one.
Mhm.
Located at 410 28th Street, Rochester, Minnesota. We will be happy to let you know how much God really, really loves you. Oh, does he ever. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. When we go through this identification, I guess we'll call this a commercial break, I guess, huh? We don't have anybody sponsoring
We're
us,
gonna
but
take a moment and feed the gators we got out back on the frozen pond.
oh, thank you, Linda, keeping us on the straight and narrow. Well, now you get to talk about your food. So you went out to eat today.
Yeah.
I couldn't. We would have had to walk.
Hey, we'd take you with.
You would have taken
Anytime
us
you
with-
want to go with.
We had pizza.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's amazing too, because now you can eat pizza. You must have lost how many? You've lost a ton of weight.
I have.
I even look at pizza, and I gain weight. But I do love pizza.
But you too can lose weight. Just go to work for Walmart.
Yeah.
The briskets, the box of briskets are 70 pounds. I was throwing those things around last week.
Well, I can't believe you did this.
Well, we had to do that.
Yeah,
We were
that's
serving.
what I understand now. But it's like, how could you even be moving? I mean, most people would be
God is good.
slathered up with Bengay and laying in a bed, just